Right here, I have the sophomore album by Seattle band The Dutchess and the Duke. It's called Sunset, Sunrise. In their somewhat self-titled debut, She's the Duchess and He's the Duke, the duo delivered this lo-fi psychedelic folk with memorable tracks like Reservoir Park and I Am Just a Ghost. With romantically tinged dual male-female vocals, Jesse Lortz and Kimberly Morrison reverted to this sound that hinted at another time, one strife with protests and objections to the powers that be. While their sophomore release, Sunset Sunrise, may have lost some of the politics, it gained in other areas. Listening to that earlier release up against songs from this, like Hands and Never Had a Chance, it's easy to hear that. Despite maintaining of many of the lo-fi traits, there's a much greater production presence. It's not nearly as gritty, it's not nearly as raw as their debut, which truly made that album stand out. But without those elements here, the Dutchess and the Duke must rely a bit more on their songwriting and performing abilities. It's not that the production detracts from the music, it's that the lack of it, or more so the production to make it seem like there was a lack of it, is quite noticeable. The good news, they deliver. When it comes to production, it's a compliment to their style. That stripped down, elemental, rustic sound from their debut was pretty damn amazing, but it's hard to deny the greatness of what you find here on Sunrise Sunset. And it's also understated and, in the years since, underappreciated. Simply put, that overly raw, inherently lo-fi sound just wouldn't have cut it here. Prime example, Living This Life Makes It Hard. The song is more a ballad than a rocker, which this album has a few. And its inclusion of stringed accompaniment is precisely the reason their newfound production, provided by Greg Ashley, is warranted. And it's not just warranted, it's celebrated, at least by this reviewer. In a rare moment, Morrison takes the lead on the title track and on When You Leave My Arms. Again, the production adds greatly to both songs. It's cleaner than those found on She's the Duchess, He's the Duke. But it's not so much as to have completely reinvented the band. Still, the Dutchess and the Duke have come a long way in terms of their abilities, and what you find on Sunset Sunrise shows that they've grown up quite a bit. They've gained in confidence, their songwriting abilities are better, and even their performance has substantially improved. Sunrise Sunset easily matches the amazing power and creativity the Dutchess and the Duke's debut. At the time of that review, I noted the album gave Leloop's family a run for Hardly Art's best release yet. Looking back more than a decade into the future, my observation is this. The Dutchess and the Duke had true staying power. Both of their records made it into my collection. What about other early Hardly Art, kind of folksy, experimental releases like Leloop and Arthur and You? Well, it's simple. They didn't. And that's all you need to know. Down in the description, you will find a link over to my original blog post from well over 10 years, and you can hear tracks from the album. You will also find links to where you can get this for yourself. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time because I am nowhere near done reviewing everything in my collection.